Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do this really beautiful earthy coppery eyeshadow look that really should work with all eye shapes. Recently I've concentrated on uploading some tones that are more neutral and cool toned because warm has obviously been done a lot, but as it is the festive season I wanted to do something that was really beautifully earthy and warm. I'm starting with my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. The one in the bottle is more geared towards oily combination skin. However, if you are normal to drier skin, you can try the Balm version because that's definitely more geared towards your skin type. If you are based in the US and you're shopping on the Tatcha.com site, you can get 20% off site-wide during the month of December with my code, which is Shonagh20, and if you spend over $100, you'll get a free silk mini canvas primer. I will link all the products I've used in the description bar with any applicable discount codes. Next up, I'm using one of my staple products. This is the Eldridge Elevated Glow. This is a beautiful highlighter that works so well underneath your makeup because it does contain an ingredient that tightens your skin. I say it every time, but if you're new to my channel, definitely check it out. Even if you're in the US, you can shop because Lisa does ship worldwide. My two favourite shades are Crystal Nebula, which I'm using today, and also Cosmic Rose, which is a beautiful kind of rosy gold tone. It's one of those products you can put on a day when you're not wearing any makeup but you want a nice glow, but you can also layer it over your makeup for an added highlight effect. My skin's pretty dry at the moment due to using tretinoin, and as the weather's really taken a dip, it's super cold, my skin is extra dry. So I'm going to layer my contour underneath my foundation so it's nice and light and nothing too heavy. This is a contour stick by SoSu. I love this one because it's really affordable. Rather than layering a full face of foundation first and then contour on top, I can prevent needing to layer too many products by going in with this first. I can put this in this area and I won't have to layer the foundation over the top. Instead, I can use what's left on my bristles to dust over it, so it's still seamless but there's not as many layers on my skin. The brush I'm using here is by Bare Minerals. It's a duo fibre brush which I really love for blending out cream based products. Here you can see I've blended in my cheekbone area and I've also applied it into the temple, and as you can see, having it dark here and in the temple means this area here, which is the top of my cheekbone, looks more prominent. It also helps that we've got that highlighter there because it bounces the light back, which again makes this area look more prominent. When you are wearing a contour around your hairline, make sure you really blend it into your hairs so that you can't see the difference in your skin tone between your scalp, which never really gets colour if your hair's quite thick, and obviously that contour shade that we've just applied. Down the sides of my nose, I'm going to use a small blending brush. This one is the Ciate London and Hannah Martin collaboration, and again this works really well with cream based products because the bristles are synthetic. If you've seen my tutorials on this technique before, you'll know that you don't necessarily have to be too neat about this, just make sure it is blended. Next I went in with a Good Apple concealer by KVD. Ordinarily I love this concealer, however my skin really is quite dry. So after applying it underneath the eyes, I actually removed the under eye section and just applied foundation there because it's a bit more forgiving than concealer. It's a shame because I really do love this concealer. By the way, if you can see me talking off camera, I do have my nephew. I'm currently looking after him today, so he is being really good and sitting in the corner, but he did want to make a little appearance. So let's all welcome Blakely. Next I'm going in with the Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. This comes in so many shades. It's such a lovely foundation. It's one where I feel like even though I'm oily, I don't really need to powder. I will apply a little bit at the end, but it's one of those ones it just kind of sets in place and I really like it. So I've gone in with the same Clinique brush, using what's left from the bristles to dust that over the contour. As you can see, not applying any more product, so avoiding too many layers on my, at the moment, flaky skin. This is a great technique if you're somebody that's not used to applying contour, because this really will give you the most natural finish, and if you've made any mistakes or you've got any harsh edges, you can use the bristles on your brush to dust those away and it will just look so seamless. Always use a very light hand and do a feathering technique, which is just to very lightly brush over that surface, and that's why I refer to it as dusting the skin. So today I'm going in with the Eldridge eyeshadow palette in the shade Cinnabar. There are 5 palettes available, and what's great about them is that you can buy refills so you can interchange the shades and design your own palettes using her incredible eyeshadows. This is full of beautiful rich earthy tones. The first shade I'm going to take is Raw Sienna. This is a matte finish and it's in a light caramel tone, and I'm working this through the socket. Although the placement might not be one that appears to be for all eye shapes, everybody does have a socket line, and if you use the brush in the right way, almost looking down into a mirror, especially if you have hooded eyes, you'll be able to work this through your socket. Next I'm going into this shade called Deep Ochre, and it's a velvet finish in a rich earthy brown. The placement for this eyeshadow is on the outer third in a circular motion, so we're creating a bit of a C shape initially, so we're blending between the socket line and the mobile lid. Again, look down slightly and feel where the brush placement sits in that socket and just work it in circular motions. And then you want to blend in between your layers. The brush that I was going in with for all these colours so far is the Refa 27 brush. It's one of my favourites, it's super soft. A little tip if you have hooded eyes is to place your finger above your brow bone and lift the excess skin. Apply the colour on both the fold and underneath. I'm layering this a few times to really build up the intensity. The shades that are going on the mobile lid aren't too dissimilar in the depth of colour, so don't worry too much about the actual shape. I just wanted to really build up the matte and velvet tones in this area first before going in on the mobile lid with the ones that are more satin and metallic in their finish. I also like to blend my colour out in a slight V shape, but you don't have to do that, you can keep it more rounded. This is one of my most favourite colours in this palette. This is called Lost Summer. It's a satin metallic finish and it's a warm copper shade. And I'm just going to use my finger to apply it. I feel like satin and metallic shades always go on better with the warmth of your finger. And this is going on the outer half of the mobile lid. Going back to the palette, I'm taking this shade called Bronzite, which is a satin metallic finish and it's a rich warm bronze. This is going on the inner half of that top lid. It's quite coppery. Once again, I'm using my finger to apply this. As I mentioned earlier, if you do have hooded eyes, make sure you're looking down, apply this over the hood, lift that fold and apply underneath. Next I'm taking the shade Ritual. This is a top coat. It's a soft light gold with warm sparkling pearl. This is going on the inner corner of the eye and then I'm going to top coat the inner corner of the mobile lid. So there's a nice graduation between this nice light gold and the rich warm bronze. Feel free to switch up between your fingers and your brush. Going back to my Cinnabar palette, I'm going to use the only shade that we've not used yet, which is called Fired Earth. This is also in a matte finish and this is a deep warm earthy brown. Again, even if you have hooded eyes, you can do this. You just want to look down and make sure you smudge this close to the root of your eyelashes. Depending on how much space you have or depend on how thick you want to apply this, you can smudge it super close to the root of your lashes or you can make it more of an eyeliner effect. I'm taking the shade Coffee by MAC, which you know I absolutely love. You can also use the shade Costa Riche if you're in America. Just apply this along your waterline. If you've got quite small eyes, you can just take it halfway across. Going back to my blending brush, I'm taking Fired Earth and Deep Ochre and blending them together and working this on the outer half of the socket line. This is something you don't necessarily have to do. I just wanted to enhance this outer edge so there's a little bit more of a transition between the shades that we got on the lid and the socket line, which kind of frames the eye. Then in keeping with framing the eye, I'm taking a small brush also from the Hannah Martin Ciate London collection and the shade Deep Ochre, and I'm running that underneath my lower eyelashes and then closer to the root with the very tip of my brush. I'm going to take Fired Earth very lightly close to the root of the eyelashes. Now I've finished with the eyeshadow, I'm taking a small amount of concealer. This one is slightly lighter in its coverage. This one is by Clinique and I'm bouncing it underneath my eyes to make sure that there's no fall down from the eyeshadow and it's a lot cleaner. Then I'm going to go back to the eyes and I'm taking the Sculpted by Amy mascara. I absolutely love this mascara and I'm going to layer it up because I want to show you this look without eyelashes, and then I'll also pop some on so you can see it with eyelashes. Therefore you can choose which one is more for you. This is one of those mascaras that give you a wet look finish, but as it starts to dry out the more you use it, it doesn't clump your lashes together and instead really does separate them because it's a comb wand and it still gives you that wet look super black mascara. I'm going to complete the look with just the mascara first so you can see the overall finish with no false eyelashes, and then I'll pop them on at the end. I'm applying a light layer of powder bronzer over the areas that we applied our cream contour. This is the Bare Minerals Endless Summer Bronzer. You know I absolutely love this. I use it in nearly every single tutorial and I have done for about 5 years. So this is going through the hollows of the cheeks, around the hairline, a little bit underneath the jaw, and a tap on the sides of the nose. As it is the festive season, I want a little bit more glow to the skin, and I'm going to use the Nude Stick Sweet Peach Peony Nudies Bloom Blush, which again is an absolute favourite staple of mine. It's a holy grail blush for me. It gives the most beautiful glow to the skin without any light reflecting particles. If you've never tried this blush, you are totally and utterly missing out. Treat yourself this Christmas, or if somebody's asking you what you want for Christmas, put it on your Christmas list. I love that it's really versatile. You can use it on the cheeks, you can use it on the lips, you can also use it across the lids. I've done plenty of tutorials using this product. As you can see today, I'm also using it on my lips. If you want to try it for yourself, you can use my discount code to get 10% off site-wide on the nudesticks.com website. On my lips, I'm also going to use a little bit of Stone Lip Liner by MAC just to bring a little bit more shape and volume to the outer edge of my lips. Often when we use a shade that's very similar to our skin tone, the borderline of our lips can kind of fade away a little bit. So just to bring back a little bit of shape, add something that's very, very subtly darker. And I love Stone because it's very neutral. You can see that I'm subtly adding a lip line and blending it in with my finger, but it makes my lips look a little bit more obvious and a little bit more prominent. I'm adding a tiny amount of finishing powder with a powder puff through the centre of my face where there's a little bit of shine. This is not much. We're doing absolute zero baking. We don't do anything like that on this channel very often at all. And as you can see, it really just finishes the skin. So this is how it looks without any false eyelashes. So beautiful. Layering your mascara to make the most of your natural lashes can be all that you need for this look. I've brought you in closer just so you can really appreciate the eyeshadow up close and you can see how beautiful it looks. If however you do want to apply some falsies, I can really recommend these plant-based ones by Velour. These are called Cloud 9. They're hemp derived eyelashes, and not only are they really comfortable to wear, they're so fluffy. I actually used my eyelash hack to apply these, so I've cut them in half and applied them in 4 sections. If you want to see how I do that, I will link it up on screen for you now. This is the look from a distance. I like it both ways. I like it without the lashes and I also like it with. So thank you for watching us both, and I will link all the products I've used in the description bar. Please hit subscribe if you are new to my channel, like the tutorial if you enjoyed it because it really helps with the algorithm. You can see Blakely in some of my Halloween tutorials when he was a bit younger, and I'll see you tomorrow with a short and Thursday with a new tutorial. Bye guys!